Now that we have everything designed, it's actually time to animate it. And there is no right or wrong as far as which way you're going to animate it, in or out. But in this particular example, it's going to be a little bit more difficult than our previous tutorial, because what we're going to have is actually some looping textures in this one. So to begin, I'm just going to turn off certain layers here that I don't want to work with at the moment. I'm going to start with my top bar here, and I want my white textures here to kind of come in together. So I'm just going to go ahead and group these, and we can call this one white bar or something if you want. I'm going to go ahead and start with this background, the dark blue background here, and I'm just going to start animating this. So I'm going to set my timeline here to 20, and I'm going to set a keyframe. I'm going to rewind my timeline and just move the position off here to the left hand side and hit set key. I'm going to bring on my BG blue, and maybe we'll do the same thing. We'll just increase the timeline here, set key, rewind it to 0, and I'm going to have this come in from the right side. I'm going to turn on my white bar, so we'll have this come in roughly around 25, and I'll set key, and I'm going to have it come in from the left side. So I'm just going to go move the position to the left and hit set key. So we hit play, and now you can see our bar animates on. I'm going to come down here to the bottom bar, and since everything is grouped together here, I'm just going to use this topmost group to animate this bar on as well. So I'm going to have it come on somewhere around 30. It's going to land there. I'm going to hit set key. I'm going to rewind my timeline and move the position out to the left and hit set key. We hit play, and you can see how these things now animate on. One thing that I do want to do though is loop this little striped texture down here. So I'm going to come into my grade 2, my Nagi here, which has the stripe on it, and I'm going to start adjusting the image position. So what I really need to do is just kind of align it to the right start point and the right stop point. So the position here, I'm just going to roughly line it up here on the left edge. I'm going to hit set key, and I'm going to move it a little bit to whichever direction you want it to move so that it lands or roughly stops at like the exact same point where we started. I'm going to hit set key. Now we have an animation on that. I'm going to click on that animation to go into the stage. Here's our animation. So if we want to rename this, we can certainly do this. We can call this striped loop or something like that. So it will help you identify what animation it is when you're working with it in the stage. Now, since I'm going to have a stop point here, I'm going to click on my topmost director, and I'm just going to add that stop point right now. So our graphic comes in, and you can see how it stops once it reaches that stop point. I'm going to come into my striped loop here, and I'm going to turn on the looping. So I'm going to stretch this out a little bit, and I'm going to click in between the keyframes, and this box comes up. I can turn on loop out, and you could do a swing out as well. We're just going to keep loop out on. I'm going to set it to infinity, and I'm going to set my keyframes here to linear. So right now they're set to a smooth animation, and we have this Bezier curve down here which tells us that. So I'm going to select my keyframe and choose linear left and right, and you can see how that curve now changes into a linear animation. So I'm going to select my second keyframe and select linear left and right for that as well. When we hit play, the animation is going to animate in. However, this striped looping animation stops because it is being affected by this stop point. So we do not want that. What we want to do is actually make a new director, and I'm going to call this one loop. So I'll just rename it to loop. I'm going to find my texture position, and I'm going to slide it into that looping director. Now that I have two directors, next to the trash can here, I have an option to select both directors or play just one director at a time. I'm going to turn it to all and close that box, and when I hit play here, it's going to come in, the animation stops, but the texture loop keeps going. So we're going to move on. Now that we have our loop set up, we're going to animate the rest of the elements on. Let's start with the logo. I'm going to go ahead and open up all this. If you want everything to fly in together, that's fine. I'm going to group these three back plates together and have them come in all as one. And again, it doesn't matter how you animate it in. Let's say I'm just going to see what it looks like with this thing coming in from the right side. So at 40, that's where it's going to land. I'm going to rewind it. And like I said, you can have it come in from the left and or from the right or however you want. So I'm going to just go ahead and hit set key. And now we hit play. We can see how that looks. I still need to animate this logo on. So I'm going to click on the transformation editor. I'm going to make sure my center point is set to center by hitting the C button here. And as that logo backplate lands, I want my logo to scale up. So it's going to land around 50. I'm going to rewind my timeline maybe to about 39 or 40. I'm going to scale it down and hit set key. So when we hit play, it comes on and it scales up when that lands. Now I still have my text that I want to animate on as well. I can use our text effects. So I'll go into my built-ins, into the text effects folder. We can choose any one of these. Let's keep it simple. We'll just use text effects scale. I'll drag this down onto my headline. And right around 60, let's say, that's where I want my text to land. I'm going to take my progress percentage out to 100, hit enter. I'm going to hit set key there. I'm going to rewind to wherever I want my text to start coming on, maybe about 30. And I'm going to take my progress percentage down to 0. And you can see how that animates off. I'm going to hit set key. When I hit play, you can now see how that text animates on. I can just take this text effects plugin and drag it down to my subline. It carries the animation with it. However, you may not want it to come on the same way. So I'm going to click on the text effects on that. And instead of having the direction come on normal, I'm going to choose opposite. We hit play. Now the text comes on opposite. To clean this up a little bit, we want to make sure that these animations went into the right director. So I need to take my headline animation and drag it up into my default director and my subline animation into the default director. I do not want them in the looping director. Last two things that we need to do here are work with these flares, and these flares, probably a good idea to have these looping as well. So what I'm going to do first is just kind of group these in their own individual group, and I'll rename this flare 1 position, and we'll rename this new group flare 2 pos for position. What I want is the flare to actually alpha up or come up from a transparency of 0. So I'm going to go into my built-ins. I'm going to go into the global folder. And if you're not familiar with the favorites, I'm just going to add a couple of plugins into my favorites. I'm going to get rid of those materials. And here you see I have an alpha and an expert. If yours are not in there, you can certainly drag them in there. And this will keep you from having to keep coming up into the built-ins and navigating to this folder. That way they're always going to be in there. So I'm going to drag the alpha down onto my flare here, that particular container. I'm going to have it animate on at around 60. It should be all the way up. And I'll hit set keyframe. I'm going to rewind roughly to around 40. I'm going to adjust the alpha down to 0 and hit set key. I'm going to copy that alpha down to my next container. And if we click on the animation, we need to make sure that it goes into the default director. So I'm going to click on the animation. It takes us to the stage. I'm going to drag these alpha animations up into the default director. However, I also want these things to loop once they are up. So I'm going to use this group here to adjust the position. And let's say when the lower third comes on, I want my flare to roughly be about this position. So I'm just going to rewind my timeline. I'm going to hit set key, and then I'm just going to move my flare position over to the right hand side a little bit and hit set key. I'm going to click on that animation. I'm going to make sure that that's in our looping animation, and here you can see it says flare 1 pos. It's actually in the wrong director, so I'm going to drag that into the loop director. I'm going to click on the flare 1 pos between the two keyframes to bring up the loop and or swing option. This time I'm just going to swing it by turning on the loop out and the swing out and set the infinity. I'm also going to stretch this out so that it's very slow, and I'm going to come down to our flare 2 position and do the exact same thing so that when it comes up it's going to roughly be about there. So I'll set a keyframe there, and this time we'll have it move left. So I'll just set another keyframe right there. I'll click on that animation, make sure it went into the looping animation. I'm going to click between the keyframes to bring up the loop and swing option. I'm going to turn on loop out and swing out, set the infinity. I'm going to stretch my keyframes out as well. So these two flares should now loop and swing for however long the animation is up there. I'm going to come into my directors here, click to all so that everything plays. So I'm going to click play, and you can see how our elements animate in and our looping elements are now looping. Last thing that we need to do is actually create the out animations. So I'm going to go into the stage and just quickly copy these keyframes. I'm not going to pay too much attention as to how they animate out. For time purposes, we're just going to do this as quickly as we can. So I'm just going to hold down C and drag each one of these keyframes past our stop point. So as I take each one of these, you can see this is our stop point here where the red line is, and I'm going to drag all of my animations past this. So this will actually help animate everything out and clear the screen after you take the continue button. So when we have our last one copied here in the default director, it should be fine. We don't need to do anything with the keyframes that were in the loop director. Now we have two animations here that are in the wrong position, it looks like. So we're going to drag this no name up into there. And we also have another animation here, this Nagi scaling, which wasn't looping. So that should be in our default director. If we close all these up, everything is looking fine. We'll come over to our director settings here. We'll select all. And I'm just going to turn that little button next to it off. That way we don't have to keep coming in and changing that to all. So wherever we click, it will always be on the user-defined all setting for our directors. We hit play. Here our elements animate in. Everything looks like it's looping correctly. We hit continue animation. Everything almost goes out besides the logo. So we just need to make our out animations for that logo. We just need to go back into the stage and find out where those keyframes were that we didn't copy. So here it is. We'll just take these and hold down C, drag each one of these keyframes out, and then we'll come back and we'll hit play once more. Everything animates in. Now we can hit continue and everything will animate out. Again, we didn't pay too much attention as to how everything animates out. You can see that the text goes out a little bit slow, so we may want to adjust those animations. To find it, two things you can do: search for it up in the stage, or if you just click on that animation, it will take you right to it. So here you can see our progress percentage animation, a little bit long, so I'm just going to move those keyframes in a little bit, and same for the subline as well. We're just going to move that back a little bit to make it go out a little bit faster. The very last thing that we need to do here is to set this up for Trio. So we need to add these control plugins. We'll go into the built-ins, into our control folder in the container plugins, and there are three elements here that I want to swap out: the headline text, the subline text, and our logo. So first I'm going to drag a control text down onto my headline. I'm going to click on the control text. I'm going to go field identifier is 1. The description headline is fine. I'm going to leave all of these options to their default settings. So I'm going to drag another control text onto the subline. We'll click on the control text. The field identifier should be 2. I'm going to leave those settings at their default as well. And now we finally need to swap out the logo. So I'm going to use a control image to be able to do that. So I drop a control image onto there. I'm going to change the field ID to 3, just in case you do need to swap out that logo with something else. Now, obviously, you're going to have your own logo that you put in there. So when you're swapping out the logos, you should make sure that they're all the same size. So this is set up. I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and we're going to move on to our next scene here that we're going to design.